The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Blessman International, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And good morning and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines as we get set for the Girls State Basketball Tournament along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadale as we get set for this morning's second game. And it'll be Dowling Catholic taking on Waukee Northwest. The two teams will meet for the third time this year as they are CIML conference opponents. And Dowling winning the first two innings of the season, and this is game three. The winner moving on to the Girls State Basketball Championship game in Class 5A tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Earlier, it was the defending state champs, Johnson Dragons, defeating the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars by the score of 61-42. So Johnson, with their 51-game winning streak, will await the winner of this game, Mike Burkert, as we are courtside right across from, the Waukee Northwest bench, but sitting on ice, literally, because there's ice right below the floor and the padding we have here. So I notice it's a little bit chillier now that we've settled in.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, that makes sense why it's a little chillier down here than it is when you're up a little bit higher. So
That's right. That's right. Well, what a matchup, what a game, and we're going to see, first of all, credit to the Central Iowa Metro League. 4 teams made it out of the quarterfinals on Monday, and 4 teams from the Central Iowa Metro League Conference, which is unheard of, have made it to the semifinals, and now one remains, and that is the defending champion Johnson Dragons. They'll await the winner of Dowling and Waukee Northwest. We know about Dowling, veteran team coming back. All the top 8 players from last year are back, but the top 6 players from last year are back. Waukee Northwest, a little different. They only have 3 juniors and no seniors on their team. They're laden with sophomores and freshmen, and Sam Powell has got this team into the Final Four. Yeah,
they're a young team. You know, we played them one of our first games of the year, and I remember sitting after the game with you talking about how impressed we were with Northwest, with their athleticism, some of their skills. It was just a matter of getting some more experience and being able to shoot the basketball consistently. I think that was after I think it was the first quarter where Dowling pulled away from them a little bit, and it was pretty even after that. Now the second time Dowling and Northwest played, and they caught Dowling on a night that it's one of those that you want to bottle and reopen every game you got, because in that game Dowling shot 60% overall from the field and shot over 70% from three-point range. That was on their senior night. So I think Dowling would like to see another game like that today, be able to shoot that well. But both teams are athletic. Both teams are well coached. It'll be a matter of which team is able to, calm the nerves early on.
Yep.
It'll be important to get off to a good start, especially for Northwest, because this is their first time kind of at this level. Dowling was, in the state finals last year. Has been down here for I don't know how many straight years now. I think it was 7 out of 8, I think, is what Joel reminded us. But for Northwest, this is their first time in a few years and with a young team.
Very young team. Dowling comes in. They've won 8 in a row, 16 of the last 17 contests. Dowling girls come in with a record of 21-3. And 2 of those 3 losses were to the defending state champion Johnson Dragons, who will play for the state championship tomorrow night. The other loss was outside the state, up in Minneapolis back during Thanksgiving for the Maroons. For Waukee Northwest, their record 19-4. They are 3rd ranked in their final rankings in Class 5A. And all 4 of their losses, 2 to Johnston and 2 to Dowling Catholic. They have not lost to anyone else. So very well seeded by Jason Essligler and Gary Ross and the folks at the Girls Union. They seed all these teams to put them in brackets, and Dowling the 2 and Waukee Northwest the 3, and rightly so. And a nice job by Scott Unash. You'd think he'd have a little bit of hands, but apparently he's got to see the ball into his hands, Mike. That's a fundamental mistake by Mr. Unash.
He was passing it off for the assist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you hear all the excuses now out of Scott. But so yeah, you've got a Waukee Northwest team that's tested, but can they take care of Dowling in the third meeting? We saw Ankeny Centennial try. Centennial goes down 3 straight times this year to Johnston, and now the Maroons are trying to wish that onto Waukee Northwest and their young team. But they can play, just a matter of how both teams have progressed since the last time they played last month.
Yeah, both teams will play hard. They'll play good defense. So the key is going to be for both teams to limit their turnovers, especially for Northwest to limit we talk about the live and dead ball turnovers, because Dowling's transition game is probably one of the best you're going to see. Dowling just needs to make sure they play good defense with their feet, not reach. They can't get in foul trouble. Neither team really wants to get in foul trouble, but Dowling is a little bit less deep maybe. And both teams need to be able to shoot confidently. If you look at all the tournament games that we watched so far, it's been the team that's shot better, which makes sense. It's kind of like way back when I was in high school, in Indiana high school basketball. There was a retired coach named Tony Hinkle who did the state tournament games, and they go, well, coach, who do you think is going to win? You go, well, the team that puts the ball in the basket more is going to win the game. And that's true.
Is that where Hinkle Fieldhouse is named after? I wondered about that.
His name. Yeah. He was a longtime coach at Butler University. So,
well, it's been a great tournament thus far. And again, you're listening to the Girls State Basketball Tournament as we preempt regular programming. Normally you would be listening to Christ is the Answer with Father John Ricardo, and that'll be preempted along with the Doctor is in today along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network here, at least locally here in Central Iowa, to bring you state tournament girls basketball in Class 5A, the largest class in the state. And it'll be Dowling and Waukee Northwest for the third time. Alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadell. Our thanks to the folks behind the scene, including Aiden Pugh and Matt Wilkham, who kind of got us kicked off here as we're going to pass the baton as we approach the noon hour here in Central Iowa. We're going to take our first break. This will be a 1-minute break and come back with more pregame and starting lineups between Dowling Catholic and Waukee Northwest along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Following is a Lumen Media news brief from the Diocese of Sioux City. Lent begins March 5th with Ash Wednesday. It gives us 40 days to practice prayer, fasting, and almsgiving to grow in our relationship with Christ. Read Bishop Nicholas's column on Lent and our article on all things Lent, including the Lenten regulations we observe in this penitential season. Learn more at lumenmedia.org, the Lumen Notes e-newsletter, and our social media platforms. Subscribe to Illuminating Catholics podcast.
All right, welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. My goodness, playing the good bumper music this morning here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadell alongside Mike Burkert. Yeah, we're above the ice here at Wells Fargo Arena as we sit on the ice literally right below us as we get set for girls state basketball and the introductions and pregame pomp and circumstance before this morning's game number 2, as it was Ankeny Centennial and Johnston in game 1. Johnston winner in game 1, and they'll play for the championship tomorrow night against the winner of this game. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, Mike, before we go back to the nuts and bolts. I know you've got this game broken down. We'll start with the visiting team, and that is the Waukee Northwest Wolves. Their head coach is Sam Powell in his second year at Northwest, 30 wins and 16 losses. Overall, his 17th year, he led Des Moines East to state titles in 2011 and a runner-up in 2010. And Sam's career record, 283 wins, 104 losses. He's assisted by Ben Dewey, Rob Newton, Trent Smith, and Francis Nagusi. And the Wolves of Waukee Northwest bring a 19-4 record into the contest. They've won their last 4 in a row. and their last 19 of 22 games, coming in averaging just under 58 points on offense and giving up just under 44 points on defense. They'll start this lineup at one guard. Leah Januleverage, a 5'9 sophomore. She'll wear number 14. The other guard is Ivana Billick. Billick, a 5'8 junior, averaging 11.5 points. She'll wear number 22. And the point guard is Romy Croat, 5'9 sophomore, leading scorer, averaging 13.5 points, and she'll wear number 32. Leads the team with 58 made threes. At one forward, Logan Vogt, 6'1 sophomore, and she will wear number 24. And at center, Cassidy Danberg, a 6'1 sophomore, leads the team in block shots with 38 and averages 6 rebounds a game. That leads the team. Danberg will wear number 54. So Januleverage, Billick, Vogt, Croat, along with Danberg, the 5 on the floor for Waukee Northwest. A short bench for Waukee Northwest, much like Dowling. Kennedy Princehouse, number 2, will come in off the bench, 5'6 sophomore, averaging just under 3 points. And Sadie McCann, a 5'9 freshman, averaging 8.5 points, 4 rebounds. Wearing number 12, she'll be the other sub that we'll see action for Northwest. And I just remember Coach Powell telling me that Sadie McCann, when she's in, she is a very exciting player, and she has lived up to that billing throughout the year, and especially in Game 2. I know Dowling had a one-sided win, 83-50, back on senior night last month against Northwest, but she's going to be a player. And again, this young group of Northwest Wolves that are going to be making their way, this is extended time for them moving into next year, but I think they want to do something this year, Mike Burkert.
Oh, I think so too, Mark. You had a team that, Northwest was playing really well. Like I said, they've only lost twice to Johnson, twice to Dowling. They came into that last Dowling game with a lot of confidence, and Dowling just shot lights out that night. So I think if I'm Coach Powell, I'm talking to him about, put that aside. If I'm him, I'm saying they can't shoot that well again. And if you just play hard and you play your game, you're going to be in the game.
And sometimes schools have a problem with the name on the front of the jersey. And some schools, I've heard that from coaches, is sometimes our kids just don't perform when they see a certain school and a certain jersey. And maybe that's the case with this young group from Waukee Northwest. But they're going to be wearing their road jerseys in their royal blue and silver colors. And you hope they can get through that mentality, because that's what it's going to take. If they have that mental block, then that's something that they've got to kind of deal with. But that does happen.
It does. I can attest to that for all those years that, if you played Dowling, it was like you knew what you were going to go up against right away. And you got the team's best shot most of the time. So, like we said, it's going to be critical the first few minutes of the game. The good thing is this is the second game for them in the tournament, so they've got a chance to come down for that first game, get some of the jitters out. They played against a very solid team in Prairie, and they had to fend off a comeback by them. So
absolutely,
they had to deal with some adversity, and that should help them today in this game.
Let's take a look at the Dowling girls. They come in with a record of 21-3 under head coach Kristen Meyer in her 9th year at Dowling. 167 wins, 57 losses, a 74% winning percentage. Overall, she's coached 15 years, 268 wins, 92 losses, and won the 2015 3A state championship at Nevada, and she was runner-up the next year in 2016. And Coach Meyer at Dowling is assisted by Joel Danner and Audrey Faber. Tom Donahue, Lisa Morrissey-Smith, Jonathan Vanderaw, and Logan Gryan are the coaching staff. Maroons come in averaging just under 65 points on offense and giving up 44 points on defense. They're ranked second in 5A, and they've won their last 8 in a row. The Maroons will start their point guard and captain, Ava Zediker, a 5'10 senior, their leading scorer, averaging 18.5 points. She'll wear number 13. The other guard is captain and senior Layla Tritton, 5'9 senior, averaging 10 points, leads the team with 3.5 assists per game, and again will wear number 15. The other guard is Katie Moeller, a 5'11 sophomore, leads the team with made three-pointers with 42, averaging just under 10 points, wearing number 11. At one forward, the third captain, Ellie Olson, 5'10 senior, averaging 4 points and 4.5 rebounds. Ole will wear number 5. And at center, Ellie Muller, 6'2 junior, averaging 16.5 points, leads the team, averaging 11.5 rebounds. And Muller will wear number 23. So it'll be Zediker, Tritton, Katie Muller, Ellie Olson, and Ellie Muller. Off the bench for Dowling, we'll see Macy Harnden, a 5'3 senior, averaging 3.5 points, along with Olivia Meredith, a 5'7 sophomore that usually rotate into the lineup. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the tip-off between Dowling Catholic and Waukee Northwest, the two teams playing for the third time this year. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Reed Flood. Again, we're interrupting programming here on Iowa Catholic Radio to bring you the Girls State Basketball Tournament Class 5A semifinals. The tip-off coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network from Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
KWKY Des Moines, KIHS Adel, KDVM Mason City, KCSL Spencer.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines, as we get set for the semifinals in Class 5A. Dowling taking on Waukee Northwest for the third time this year. Alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadeo, as the winner of this game will meet Johnston, who earlier this morning defeated Ankeny Centennial to advance to the championship game tomorrow night. The tip-up is controlled by Waukee Northwest. They'll be going right to left, north to south here at Wells Fargo. Now the Wolves had the ball. They get the ball underneath, and it's stolen away by Dowling off the turnover. So here we go, Mr. Mike Burkert, as both teams have had the ball. And we're waiting for our first points. Here's Ellie Moeller down the lane. She's triple team. A shot off the glass. Good. Boy, Ellie went right through that triple team to make the basket for the Maroons down the right side.
Yeah, she sliced between two defenders and got a shot up over the third one. And it kind of did one of those roll around the rim a couple times and dropped in.
So it's 2-0. Maroons with the lead. Northwest with the basketball. And we'll once again reset the starters as we got a whistle and a foul on the baseline. Chad Sherrillmeyer and his crew here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
Katie Moeller got the foul there, trying to cut her off baseline.
And now they initiate it. We were wondering who it was on, and I don't doubt it, but officials getting all that cleared up. So you said Katie Moeller with the foul. All right.
Yeah. That's the problem.
And now Craig Snyder, bench official, wants a clarification. The ball goes all the way down. I'm not going to go out and get it. I mean, cameraman will take care of it. And they're still discussing. The coaches are kind of wondering, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was, they did signal the foul was on Katie Moeller. And Northwest basketball, and they'll inbound the ball, and they do. All right, now we're back. Ball was tipped in the backcourt and retrieved by Logan Vogt. So it's Jania Leverage, Billick, Vogt, Croat, and Danberg, the five on the floor for Northwest. Waukee Northwest, again with the record of 19-4. They've won 4 in a row to get to the tournament. Underneath, a little spin move is shot up and no good by the post player Cassidy Danberg with the left hand. Rebound Dowling. So the Wolves out cold. And now Dowling with the ball. Tritton underneath to Olsen. Only shot no good, and a rebound cleared out of there by Romy Croat. And the other way we go with Northwest with the basketball. Ole got a good look at the basket and a nice feed from Tritton. Now whistle and a foul on Dowling as the other way we go. Mike?
Yeah, it was a nice drive there by Layla and dropped it off to Miss Olson there. Just missed the easy layup there, unfortunately.
Ellie Olson picks up the foul. That'll be her first foul of the game. And at the free throw line for Waukee Northwest is Croat. Romy, a 5'9" sophomore, hits the first free throw. 76% free throw shooter on the year. Second one good. Makes them both. And the Wolves on the board as we're tied at 2. 6:30 left to go, first quarter. From the Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines, the girls' state basketball tournament. They kept playing yesterday in spite of the local blizzard we had. Teams all got here the night before, so did the officials and support staff. Dowling with the ball, and now Muller dribbling, had the ball stolen away and loose on the floor, and we've got a tie-up and a jump ball called. And I think Ellie Muller got caught dribbling a little too long because we're seeing Northwest diving down into the post player for the Maroons. Both times Dowling's had the ball. Yeah, they're collapsing down anytime she gets the basketball. The first time she had it, she had to take a shot up between 3 people. So, all right, here is Zedeker with the basketball for Dowling, guarded by Leah Januleverage. Maroons playing their 3-man weave. Now there's a long 3 up and no good. And we got a shot clock violation on Dowling as Muller's shot was no good. Yeah, I think the time got away. Wait a minute, they're having a discussion here about the shot clock. So it'll be Northwest basketball. It should have been reset, I think, because, wasn't it? No? Okay, shot clock violation. And I think one of the officials, it's Mike Anderson over there, explaining that to Kristen Meyer, the Dowling coach. I think they're questioning because there was a jump ball and whether or not that would reset the shot clock. Apparently it does not. Well, if the violation happened, then it does not. That is correct. Okay. I think that's what to be determined. No, we can't use replay, even though we got a lot of TV around us. And now a long 3 up and good by the Wolves out of that sequence. And that's a 2-pointer. They're going to give it to Logan Vogt. So Vogt with the first field goal for Northwest. Dowling trailing 4-2. And now ball lost in the backcourt. Katie Muller couldn't handle it, and the Wolves force a turnover. Yeah, that ball took a bounce off her foot there when she tried to corral it here right at midcourt. So both teams have had a 2-point lead in this contest. 4-2 is our score. Northwest leading Dowling. 5:20 to go. First quarter. Here's Croat. Pull-up jumper. In and out, no good. Rebound, Ellie Muller. Northwest is not backing down, even though the Maroons had a 33-point win back at Dowling a month ago. And here's Muller for 3. It's no good. Rebound, Croat. Outlet pass goes to Billick. Vonna with it down the lane. Is cut off. And she waits for her teammates. 5 minutes to play, and it's 4-2, Waukee Northwest. Dowling staying man-to-man on defense. Januleverage with it. Top of the key, it goes to Vogt. Now dribble handoff to Croat. Croat guarded by Olson. Ellie normally gets the leading scorer for the opponent. Now they work the ball on the baseline. Up top, it goes to Vogt. Now corner 3, up and good by Danberg, and they're going to give her a 2-pointer. They say foot was on the line. And the Wolves out to a 4-point lead, 6-2 over Dowling. And that was a nice offensive set by Northwest. Now here's Zedeker, who's been quiet thus far. In the lane now, triple team. Gets the ball out to Tritton. Layla for 3, top of the key, good. Layla Tritton with her 40th made 3 of the year. And it cuts the lead to 1, 6-5. Waukee Northwest over Dowling as we approach the 4-minute mark, Mike. Yeah, Layla's had some big baskets for Dowling this year. I think that she's been one of their more consistent shooters and all-around players this year. Now here's a pull-up jumper up and no good. Missed everything by Northwest. Rebound Dowling. The Maroons out in transition. Here's Katie Muller in the left baseline. Back to Tritton. Corner 3 up, no good. Offensive rebound Dowling, and Ellie Muller gets the Zedeker. It did not reset the shot clock as it did not hit the rim. I think that one was tipped when she shot it, so. Partially blocked, all right. We'll put that in the block shot column. Zedeker with it, coming off a ball screen by Ellie Muller. In the corner goes to Tritton. fakes the three, kicks it out to Ellie Moeller for three. Top of the key, it's short. Offensive rebound, Dowling and Katie Moeller. Back out to Ellie. She'll shoot another three. It's no good. Rebound slapped around. And Olsen saves it from going out of bounds. It'll be Dowling basketball and a brand new shot clock for the Maroons. Good hustle by Ole.
That was 3 offensive rebounds on that.
Now Macy Harnden into the Dowling lineup. Harnden, a 5'3" senior, and we have a timeout on the floor, and this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here with 3:17 to go first quarter. It's Waukee Northwest 6, Dowling Catholic 5. Here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadale, and our thanks to our listeners for tuning in today as we interrupt programming here along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Our thanks to Blessman International, Bozen the Florist, Construction Professionals, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Our thanks to Joe Stacy and Bill Hinkinius. They called the game Tuesday night. The Dowling boys sub-state battle over at Marion, Iowa at Linn-Mar High School. And it was Linn-Mar advancing to the boys state tournament next week with the win over Dowling. But our thanks to my buddy Joe Stacy and Bill Hinkinius. He is the uncle of the Dowling volleyball coach, Mary Beth Wiskus. So the Hinkinius family. And they called the game, did a great job in all the rain and all the stuff they had to endure, so appreciate that. Stay tuned, folks. At halftime, we'll have Tom Wilson, Dowling Athletic Director, kind of recap some of the sporting events this past winter. Maybe take a look back at the football season. We'll see how much time we get. All right, out of the timeout, Dowling with the ball. Here's Zedeker with it. Backdoor cut by Tritton. Layup good. Zedeker found the Billick that was overplaying Tritton and of Waukee Northwest and found Tritton for the basket.
Yeah, she made a nice backdoor cut to get herself open and was able to put down the basket.
Nice call. I'm sure that was a set play coming out of a timeout for the Maroons. And Dowling with the lead, 7-6. Now top of the key for three, no good by Billick. But offensive rebound, Northwest, and knocking it down from the top of the key is Danberg for three, and that's her 5th point of the morning. And it's 9-7. Waukee Northwest with the lead over Dowling. Here's Moeller underneath. Ellie has double team, and she is fouled by Croat. And Romy with her first foul. And both teams really have that small window with their bench, Mike. They can't afford to have players in foul trouble. Now the Maroons already have Olsen, Katie Moeller with fouls, and that'll be the first foul on Northwest. Croat with her first. Dowling inbounds the ball. Tritton underneath their own basket. Gets it to the top of the key. Inbounds it to Katie Moeller. Katie on the dribble, down the lane. Stops. Pivots. Looking for help. Gets it out to Zedeker with 25 on the shot clock. Ava with it. Gets it out to Tritton. Looking inside. Now Tritton dribbles baseline. Cut off nicely that time by Billick. Out to Harnden. Macy with it with 15 on the shot clock. Maroons trail by 2. Harnden, backdoor cut underneath, and the shot up and good. That's Tritton getting loose, and Harnden with a nice pass.
Yeah, that was a nice offensive set that time. They were very patient, and they got Layla again on a backdoor cut. Northwest is just playing very aggressive, overplaying the passes, trying to cut people off.
Tritton now with 7 points, leading Dowling. The Maroons have tied the game at 9, and now Croat for three, no good. Rebound Zedeker. Ava wants to run. Down court she goes, now waits for her teammates. Tried to beat Croat off the dribble and found out she couldn't. Now she'll pull up for three, it's no good. Offensive rebound, Dowling and Moeller. And now again, Ava for three, good! Same spot, different result. Three-pointer for Zedeker, and that's her first three of the morning. And Dowling out to a 3-point lead. 12-9, Mike.
Yeah, Dowling put together 4 consecutive possessions where they've hit 2 twos and 2 threes. And have got themselves back ahead.
All right, here is Danberg with it at the high post. Leaves it for Croat. Goes through traffic. Layup with the left hand, good. Romy Croat, nice move. Her first field goal, and she has 4 points to go with her 2 free throws. Final minute of the first quarter, and Dowling leading by 1, 12-11. Maroons trying to get back to the state championship game as they lost last year to Johnston. And that's who they would play. Johnston a winner earlier today over Ankeny Centennial. Now underneath, Zedeker shot no good. And the rebound out to Croat. And the Dragons. Romy with it. Tries to dribble through 2. Now goes up against Zedeker. Pull-up jumper. Good. Got all the way down the right block and scored. Did Romy Croat. And she's got back-to-back baskets for Northwest. And the Wolves lead by 1. Shot clock turned off. Final 20 seconds of the quarter here, Mike.
Yeah, that was a nice, she's a really strong-looking player, very athletic, and she was able to take her down right to the base, right to the basket, and turn around on a nice post move.
Northwest with no seniors, just 3 juniors, 8 sophomores and 2 freshmen, and we've got a foul before the shot. Somebody went through a screen for Northwest. And we'll see who they called it on. Number 22, that being Vonna Billick. That is her first foul, as Tritton will throw it in right in front of me. You may have to help out here, Mike, if I get blocked. There you go. Gets it to Harnden. Now Tritton for 3, it's no good, and we come to the end of the first quarter of play here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. The girls' Class 5A state semifinal, and it's Waukee Northwest leading Dowling Catholic 13-12. We'll be back in 1 minute with the start of the second quarter from Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from the Catholic Tuition Organization. Reduce or eliminate your Iowa income tax and instead give to the Catholic Tuition Organization and receive 75% Iowa tax credits. These tax credits are going fast, so reserve yours today and learn more about the Catholic Tuition Organization at ctoiowa.org. ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Catholic Tuition Organization, a great investment in our kids.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Iowa Catholic Radio is AM 1150, KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, 88.5, KIHS, Adel, 89.3, KDVM Mason City, and 89.9, KCSL Spencer Spirit Lake.
All right, welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines as we begin the second quarter of play as Waukee Northwest leads Dowling 13-12. The winner will play Johnston, who won their 51st straight game earlier this morning as the Johnston Dragons defeated Ankeny Centennial 61-42 to cap off a tremendous year for Centennial. Part of the CIML. All 4 CIML teams made it here. Now the Wolves start the ball underneath. Cassie Danberg with the shot in the left block. It's no good, but a foul on Ellie Moeller. And that'll be her first foul of the session as we're after the noon hours. Now we could say afternoon instead of morning, Mike, that we do have the transition. And later on this weekend, we don't fall back. We spring forward with daylight savings time.
That's right. I tell you, Dansberg has come out and she's played really well. She's hit the outside shot, which would draw Ellie away from the basket for her help some teammates. She made a nice drive there to pick up a foul on her. So
Denver makes the first free throw and the second. She's a 59% free throw shooter on the year. Didn't look like it there. And the Dragons out, or rather the Wolves out to a 3-point lead. 15-12 over Dowling Catholic. The Wolves are now 4 for 4 at the free throw line. Dowling has not attempted a free throw in this contest. Here's Zediker coming off a ball screen by Olsen. Pull-up jumper, right elbow, good. Ava Zediker with her 5th point. Leading scorer for Dowling, averaging 18.5. And it pulls the Maroons within 1, 15-14. As we've played less than a minute here in the second quarter from Wells Fargo Arena. Dowling in their home white uniforms, maroon numbers and letters. And Waukee Northwest in their road black uniforms with royal blue trim and white border. There's Danberg, top of the key, going against Moeller. That's Ellie Moeller. Now they swing it over, ball screen. Here's Billick with it. Stops in the lane, leaves it for Croat. Shot off the glass, good. Foul on Dowling, and that'll be on Tritton, her first. And the Wolves executing perfectly their isolation, and especially when Croat's involved there, Mike Burkert.
Yeah, they did a nice pick and roll. The person who set the screen though fell down, but Croat did backdoor on the weak side and was able to get the shot and hit the layup and foul.
Croat with 8 points, free throw no good. And the rebound Dowling, 17-14. Waukee Northwest leading the Maroons by 3. 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. Here's Tritton again for 3. This time from the left wing, it's no good. And Danberg with the rebound, and Northwest with the basketball, and they dribble in the front court with Ivana Billick. Either Billick or Croat can run the point. They're both point guards, according to Coach Powell. Now here is Billick for 3, top of the key, no good. Coming off a ball screen by Danberg. Offensive rebound and put back up, and good by Jania Leverage. Leah Jania Leverage with her first basket of the game. And the Wolves now open up a 5-point lead over Dowling, 19-14. Now a shot underneath, no good. Danberg with the rebound.
Right now, Northwest is playing with a lot of confidence.
Here's Danberg with it. They worked a 2-player game on the right side. Reverse layup up and good with the left hand by McCann, and a timeout Dowling. Sadie McCann off the bench with her first basket. And the Maroons want to talk it over, and this will be a 30-second timeout with 5:39 remaining in the second quarter. The Wolves up 7, 21-14 over Dowling here, Mike Burkert.
Yeah, they've come out and scored on their first 4 possessions to expand that 13-12 first quarter lead. Like I said, they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They seem to be content to work the basketball till they get a good shot, and they've been hitting those shots. And Dowling has been patient too, but their shots haven't fallen.
Some of the numbers from the first quarter you can we haven't got the sheet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, so we got to go to the quick stats on our phone.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now in the second quarter at least, Waukee Northwest has come out and hit 3 of their first 4 shots. Like I said, they scored on each of their first 4 possessions. So,
all right, turnovers, Dowling with 2 and Northwest with 1. Northwest shooting 57% from the field, Dowling 37%. Maroons are 2 of 10 from 3-point range. Northwest 1 for 4. And the rebounds, Dowling out rebounding Northwest 9-7. And now we got a whistle and a foul away from the action on the Wolves. And let's see who they gave that to.
I think it's on 24. We'll see if I'm right. Nope, 12.
Number 12, yeah. Sadie McCann. She was that exciting freshman I was talking about that Coach Powell said, keep an eye on her. And McCann picks up the foul. So 5:20 to go, second quarter. Dowling trails by 7, 21-14 to Waukee Northwest. Here's Zediker in the lane. And a pull-up jumper rolls around the rim and through. Ava Zediker with her 7th point. 21-16. Wolves by 5. In the front court is Billick for the Wolves. Dribble handoff to Vogt. They run their dribble weave, if you will, with the guards. Now back out to Billick between the circles. Macy Harnden in the lineup for Dowling. Sitting down is Tritton for the Maroons. Now back to Croat. Romy with it, works the left side, stops, pivots, kicks it out to Danberg. Won't shoot the 3 this time. Now back to Croat. Underneath the Danberger shot up, blocked by Ellie Moeller. Rebound Dowling, and the other way we go. Zediker with it. Maroons in transition. Dowling underneath. Zediker stops the free throw line. Leaves it for Harnden. Macy dribbles baseline, and she steps out of bounds as holding her ground there was Leah Jania Leverage. And it'll be a turnover against Dowling.
But that was a big play on the other end down there when, the block shot, which could have kind of gone from our angle, could have gone either way, but they called it a block, and that would have been the second foul on Ellie.
I thought that was a good call. You saw something else, Coach, like body?
It could have been close.
All right, here's Croat for 3, top of the key. It's no good for Waukee Northwest. And Ellie Moeller, who had 20 rebounds in the first game for Dowling against Davenport Central with the rebound. Ball gets loose on the floor, and Harnden picks it up for the Maroons. Zediker with it. Zediker guarded by Jania Leverage in the lane. Stops, fadeaway jumper up, and no good. Rebound slapped out of bounds off of Olsen. It'll be Waukee Northwest basketball. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. 21-16 is our score. Northwest with the lead. Tritton back into the Dowling lineup, replacing Harnden. Mike?
Yeah, just looking up at the scoreboard here, we talked about the shooting. So far at this point, Waukee Northwest is shooting 50%, Dowling's 39%. And we've talked about that being a difference maker in these games so far down at Wells Fargo.
All right, here's Croat working against Zediker. Pull-up jumper, blocked by Zediker. Croat had her shot blocked, rebound Dowling. Now here's Katie Moeller with it, guarded by Danberg. Katie in the lane, spins, little shot underneath, and it's off her hand, out of bounds to Waukee Northwest. It was not blocked. It just slipped out of her hand with using her offhand, the left hand on the left block. So turnover against the Maroons with 3:30 to go here in the first half. Maroons trail by 5. We've been stuck on this score for a while. I know that. I'm not tracking that, but it just feels longer than a minute.
Yeah, no, each team the last 3 possessions, neither of us scored, so.
Proves my point.
There you go.
Don't have that often. I don't get to say that very often. Not at home or here. All right. All right, here's McCann with it. Gets the Crow out on the left baseline, guarded by Zedeker. That's a matchup of 2-point guards. Now over to Billick. Vonna in the lane, dribbles through traffic, puts up a shot, rolls around, and falls through. Vonna Billick, 5'8" junior, shoots and scores. That's her first basket of the afternoon. And the Wolves lead by 7, equaling their largest lead of the day, 23-16 over Dowling. 2:45 remaining in the first half. Again, our halftime guest will be Tom Wilson, the Dowling athletic director and head football coach. Here's Zedeker with it. Ava down the lane draws the foul as Chad Shellmeyer says, "No, we got a foul before she went to the basket."
That's a big foul on Romy Croat. That's her second with 2:35 left in the second quarter.
Yes, it is. So Croat with foul number 2.
She has 6 points going out, plus a very nice, she's just a very physical presence on their team.
And each team with 2 team fouls in this contest. Dowling with the ball, brand new shot clock, 2:30 remaining. Now here's Ellie Moeller, left block, fadeaway jumper, up, good. And that was a little bit of a mismatch. Kennedy Princehouse checking in. Number 2 was guarding Ellie Moeller, 5'6" versus 6'2". So I don't know how that works. Moeller with her 4th point. And it cuts the lead to 5. 23-18, Waukee Northwest leading Dowling. 2:10 to go here in the second quarter. Princehouse with it. Kennedy Princehouse, a 5'6" sophomore off the bench for Sam Powell. Now top of the key for 3. It's Croat. It's no good. Rebound Zedeker. Now Dowling has numbers. Zedeker on the fast break, 2-on-2. Wolves get back. Out to Katie Muller for 3. It's good. Right in front of us. Katie Muller with her first 3 of the afternoon. And it's a 2-point lead for Waukee Northwest, 23-21. The Maroons, off a missed shot, got their offense going.
Got the transition down there.
Now the Wolves take it down court, and Sadie McCann underneath. Goes to the basket on the left side, draws the foul, and that'll be on Olsen.
That's her second.
And, yeah, that'll be foul number 2 on Ellie Olsen. So Olsen and Croat, both with 2 fouls each. Free throws coming for Sadie McCann, and she hits the first free throw. This afternoon's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Sadie McCann off the bench with 3 points. Second free throw good. She now has 4 points, all in the second quarter. And the lead is back to 4 for Waukee Northwest. 25-21, Waukee Northwest leads Dowling. The winner will play Johnston, who just won their 51st straight game, and they'll play for another state title tomorrow night. Tip-off at 6 o'clock here at Wells Fargo Arena, and the winner of this game will play the Dragons. Dowling with the ball. Katie Muller around the horn it goes, underneath the Tritton, left block, out to Zedeker. Now to Harnan, shoots the 3, up and no good. Ball slapped around and into the hands of Janiel Everidge. And now the Wolves with it in the front court. Down court is McCann, battling against Harnan. Back to Danberg, and her shot up underneath is no good. Had a wide open shot and missed it, and a rebound out to Dowling and Ellie Muller. Mike, we're down to the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, it's going to be an important last minute here to see, Northwest got a 4-point lead. Probably each team can get 1 possession here.
All right, here's Ellie Muller. Dribbles the ball out beyond the arc. Now to Zedeker. 15 on the shot clock. Skip pass over to Harnden. Out top to Tritton. Now they lob underneath to Muller. Her shot up and good. Rolls around the rim. Good defense that time by Danberg, as she didn't have the opportunity to use the glass.
Yeah, that was a nice, both on offense and defense. Northwest played really good defense, but they just got the ball in, and Ellie was able to hit the shot.
All right, we're under 20 minutes to play, or 20 seconds to play. Final seconds of the first half. 25-23. Northwest leading Dowling. And now here is Croat with a pull-up jumper. Good. They left her isolated alone. And she shoots and scores. Croat with 10 points at halftime. And Waukee Northwest leads Dowling 27-23 here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. The Wolves with a 4-point lead. Keep in mind, this series between Dowling and Waukee Northwest, Dowling is 8-0 against the Waukee Northwest, which, by the way, started as a high school in the 2021-22 season. So it's been all Dowling, but right now it's all Waukee Northwest as the Wolves lead at halftime by the score of 27-23. Alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadale. We'll return to Wells Fargo Arena with our halftime guest, and that is Tom Wilson, the Dowling Catholic Athletic Director and head football coach, will join us here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Mercy One is proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Mercy One has convenient locations right in your neighborhood. From unexpected illnesses to regular checkups, Mercy One is here for you. Schedule online at mercyone.org.
People of America, listen to his voice. Do not be afraid.
Are you frustrated or disheartened by the state of our culture? Do you feel
Faith Check with Greg Yule on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
On this Faith Check, let's talk about our first Pope, St. Peter. I remember well a conversation I once had with a Protestant pastor who told me that if Peter were truly the first Pope, he thought he'd see him exercising the papacy more in the Bible. Well, Scripture shows that Peter was no ordinary apostle. Peter's name appears more than all the other apostles combined, and in every list of the apostles' names, Peter's comes first while Judas Iscariot is last. Peter is the one chosen to pay the temple tax for Jesus and the apostles in Matthew 17. And in the Acts of the Apostles, God picks Peter as the first to take the gospel to the Jews in Acts 2, to the Samaritans in Acts 8, and to the Gentiles in Acts 10. Peter performs the first miracle in Acts 3, pronounces judgment on Ananias and Sapphira in Acts 5, and gives the decisive teaching at the Council of Jerusalem in Acts 15. Every team needs a coach, every company needs a CEO. Yes, Jesus is our King, but he left us Peter to be the head pastor of his flock on earth. This is Greg Yule for Faith Check.
Now that the on-air portion of the spring fundraiser has ended, we want to thank you for your tremendous response to our appeal. Your support means Iowa Catholic Radio will continue to connect listeners to Christ as we seek to reclaim the culture. We're still short of our goal, and matching dollars are still available. Donate now at iowacatholicradio.com. And again, thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines alongside Mike Burkert. I'm Mark Amadale. Halftime of the Class 5A semifinal, and it's Waukee Northwest leading Dowling 27-23. The winner will take on Johnson tomorrow night. Johnson, a winner earlier today, 61-42 over Ankeny Centennial. Now joined by the athletic director and head football coach at Dowling Catholic, Tom Wilson. I'm not sure what hat you're wearing right now, but we'll just start with athletic director, and I'll kind of ease my way into this. I think we scared Bob Hansen away from press row the other day with our interview questions, so we'll start easy with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Tom, it's been a great year for winter sports. I want to say fall sports. Yeah, winter sports. Wrestling, bowling, girls and boys basketball. Am I missing something? Because the Maroons have been involved in a lot of that. You've had your plate full with you and Jared Herring and the rest of your office there, Colleen Webb. You guys have been very busy.
Yeah, it's been a great year. You mentioned the basketball teams, and obviously watching the girls here right now. Boys won 15 games. Lost a tight game the other night at Marr, which was unfortunate, but they had a very good year. You also mentioned wrestling. Really proud of that program. Finished in the top 8, sent 9 guys to state, and all 9 of those guys return next year, which is certainly something to look forward to. Bowling, and we sent a boy and a girl both to state that way as individuals. So Adam Shalene is doing a nice job with that program, and cheer and dance, and we've had swimming as well. And after the girls won the state championship in swim and dive in the fall, the boys come back. I think they were 13th in the state meet. here this winter. So obviously a lot of good things going on at our place.
Well, it certainly is, and as I was telling, I think one of your coaches, Jimmy Cataldo, who kind of hangs out with me during boys basketball season, I said we didn't have a whole lot of rescheduling going on, at least with the basketball part. We had one game start early, and that was the Valley Dowling basketball game earlier in the year, but we didn't have a whole lot of postponements, which is unlike being in Iowa during the
done, and I think it was a tougher drive there than what it was home, just based on the rain and things like that.
Visit with Tom Wilson, the Dowling Athletic Director and head football coach, here at halftime of the girls 5A semifinal. Right now, the Waukee Northwest Wolves lead Dowling 27-23 here at halftime. And, I still got the two deep from this fall. So we never did get a review of the football season. Okay. I'm not talking about all the coaching evaluations. I don't want to get to that. I'm talking about personnel. And you kind of recognize some of this. I see a lot of kids coming back. I see some kids getting – you started a freshman at left tackle. What are you thinking this year? And look what happened.
Yeah, freshmen and two sophomores on the offensive line. And really the kids grew up. And, you mentioned Carter Barrett right away. And he's getting quite a bit of attention on the recruiting front already at 15 years old. But it's excited to have four of those guys back, and that helps us offensively, but we certainly lose quite a bit as well. So really concerned about that, and but that allows for kids that have been in the program to work their way up.
Well, your left guard, Brady Hagan, wrestled for a state championship, and Cade Krause also qualified as a wrestler, your right guard. So good to see, and I like to see these multi-sport athletes compete in other sports, don't you?
We do as well. Obviously, Hagan was a state runner-up, and Krause, all he did was avenge a couple of losses in the state meet that he had earlier in the year. So really proud of those guys and the job that they did. And I know they're looking forward to football, but they'll look for wrestling as well.
Tom, when you get to the state tournaments like this, what type of responsibilities do you have as an athletic director that change? Well, it changes a little bit, I'm sure, but then what are the things you have to do?
Honestly, the game day is the easiest part of it. I've been a fan sitting over there right now, and really it's more organizational things that are going on during the course of the week and our off days. If I'm being truthful, Colleen handles an awful lot of that, which is very helpful, and our coaches handle an awful lot, but really it's gym stuff too. We've got, being in the metro area, we got a lot of people wanting to use our gym, and that's like Garrigan's there tonight. So we'll have to take care of that. We've had a few other schools. We'll get the same thing going on in the boys tournament next week.
Visit with Tom Wilson, the athletic director at Dowling Catholic High School. Alongside Mike Burkett, I'm Mark Hamadale. Again, we're at halftime of the girls' state semifinal, and it's Waukee Northwest leading Dowling 27-23. Now, can I go back to football? I mean, Mike asked a question that was, Mike, I laughed because I know what he does.
I do too.
He was harassing me Monday when I'm over there. I don't dare go over there, but he's harassing me when I'm there with my wife. So that's the kind of thing Wilson does.
No, I was familiar too, but
it's payback.
He doesn't get enough for. I don't want to say respect, but people don't understand all that goes in behind the scenes that like Tom does and his staff do.
I'm going to give you one name, Colleen Webb, and that's all you need to know.
Like Mary Pick before.
Like Mary Pick, yeah, and those before. Am I right, Coach? I mean, see?
You're not telling any lies. It's a good thing they keep it together. And to be honest with you, it takes all of us, and I've been very fortunate. You mentioned Mary before, and everybody knows the job that she did for many, many years, and most recently having Colleen with me. She's done a fantastic job and keeps Jared and I both organized.
That's right. Well, I know you've got a lot of early morning practice, early morning workouts going on for all sports, for players and athletes that aren't out for their in-season sport, and that's going on very early in the Dowling gym, and you've got quite a staff there, football coaches, other coaches helping out, and that's getting the kids ready for their next season, whether it be next fall or this summer.
Really, it's our off-season kids. We'll have kids in there at 5:45 start tomorrow morning. It's on Tuesdays and Fridays. Our kids lift 3 times a week, but the early morning work we get in is very valuable, and I think the key there is that's not just football, and it's not just football coaches in there. We've got softball. We've got boys and girls soccer that are in there. We've got baseball players and coaches that are in there. Really all of us working together, and the unification of our athletic department, I think, is as critical as anything that we can do. You mentioned multi-sport athletes, and that's really been our approach, and we think that's the best way. And sometimes people think they have to focus in on and focus on that, and any study you would ever look would show the contrary. And that's really the philosophy we have, and I think as long as I'm there, the philosophy that will continue.
Coach Wilson, all of a sudden I got on my phone yesterday, district football and groupings, and I see Cedar Rapids, Kennedy, Dallas Center Grimes, Marshalltown, Waterloo West, and Waukee, along with Dowling Catholic. As the first grouping, you got to find 4 other opponents. One will probably be Valley, but what do you think about your schedule next fall? Because everybody just got it yesterday.
Yeah, and it'll look a lot different once the non-district gets in there. As you mentioned, we'll play Valley, and then honestly you'll have Southeast Polk, a couple Ankeny's in there probably, and it'll be a great schedule before it all gets done. But Kennedy, we've played the last 2 years. Dallas Center Grimes, we've never played. Yeah, Marshalltown, it's been a while. Waterloo West, we played a couple years ago in the playoffs. They've got an Iowa recruit, and Waukee will have a really good football team, coached by one of my former players, Gabe Baker.
That's right.
At my previous job, and so I wouldn't raise my hand to coach against Gabe.
I could put a good word in for you at this school, just south of Des Moines and south of the airport if you want, because they moved up to 5A too, and that's Norwalk.
Norwalk did as well, and they usually have their share of talent, and it'll be interesting. Indianola's also up in 5A.
Wow.
And so it'll be a little bit different.
Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. I know you get back to your game day activities and responsibilities. It's been great to work with you all season, Coach. I know this will be our last few days here at Wells Fargo and broadcasting basketball and football. But thanks for all you do and the cooperation of you and your staff and coaches.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. And let's go have a great second half out of our ladies here.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right. Tom Wilson joined us here at halftime. We're going to take a break and come back with more here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. Halftime, and it's Waukee Northwest leading Dowling 27-23. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
Hey, honey, did you get the takeout from the fish fry?
Fish and chips.
Oh, you got anything to go with the chips?
Chips and dip.
Oh, what's this other sauce for?
Dip the fish.
Iowa Catholic Radio knows that some of the best fish fries in the heartland happen right here in our listening area. Email contact@iowacatholicradio.com to add your fish fry to our fish fry finder. Check out the other fish fries happening across the listening area at iowacatholicradio.com.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines, underway here in the second half. And both teams now have a basket here in the second half. Dowling with the first possession. Layla Tritton shooting and scoring a 3. She now has 10 points. And now Waukee Northwest the other way. And was that Croat in the middle, Mike, that scored there?
Yep, she got the ball inside, got her shot blocked, and then got the rebound back and scored.
And then speaking of that, Ellie Moeller on the other end shoots and scores for Dowling. That is her 8th point. So Croat scoring her 12th point for the Wolves earlier, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point lead for Northwest, 29-28 over Dowling. As I mentioned, the Maroons have won all 8 games when the two teams began facing each other back in 2022. The Maroons started playing Waukee Northwest when the school was born, so to speak, and the Maroons have won them all. Now reverse layup, no good. Dowling in transition. Zedeker gets it out to Ellie Olson. Maroons with their starting 5 in the lineup. Ellie Olson, Katie Moeller, Ava Zedeker, Layla Tritton, and Ellie Moeller. We'll get the first half statistics and scoring here in a moment. And now here is Moeller underneath, has her shot blocked. And we'll start with some of those numbers there, Mike, from the first half.
Yeah, the first half, Waukee was 10 of 21 shooting 47.6%. Dowling was 10 of 23 for 43.5, so pretty even there. 3-point shooting, Dowling was 3 of 12 for 25%. Waukee Northwest was 1 of 6.
That's Ellie Muller with the basket on the right side where you were talking.
Yeah, the difference was, I think what we talked about at Waukee was 6 out of 7 from the free throw line, and Dowling has not shot a free throw yet.
All right, that was Muller off the inbounds pass underneath after a substitution for Wolves. Now a long three, no good by the Wolves. Offensive rebound, Waukee, and battling underside. Putting the shot up is Logan Vogt. That's blocked out of bounds by Ellie Muller. Good job by Vogt to just getting in there and getting that offensive board, but Muller knocks it out.
Yeah, she got a really tough offensive rebound there between two Dowling players. Took it up strong, and Ellie came from the backside and blocked it out of bounds.
For Northwest, the Wolves are led by Romy Croat at halftime with 10 points. She now has 12. Now here's a shot up and no good. Off and rebound slapped out of bounds off Dowling, as battling in there was Danberg, but they say it deflected off of, I think, Tritton. So Croat with 12 points leading the way for the Wolves. 7 points for Cassie Danberg. 4 points for Sadie McCann off the bench for the Wolves. And then 2 points each for Jenya Leverage and Vonna Billick. The Wolves inbound the ball right in front of us as Northwest going south to north, left to right in front of us. And here's a fall-away jumper, no good by Croat, and a rebound out to Dowling. Here's Zedeker with it. Ava sets up, leaves it for Tritton. They won't come out and guard her. She'll launch the three. It's in and out, no good. And the rebound, Dowling and Ellie Olson. 30-29, Dowling by 1.
Look, I'd guard Layla if I was them.
You're not going to miss many of those.
No.
Now here's Katie Muller to her sister Ellie. Ellie, fall-away jumper, good from the mid-post, and a timeout called by Sam Powell and Waukee Northwest, as Ellie Muller with 6 of her 12 points here in the third quarter. And we're going to keep it here with just under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Dowling has opened up a 3-point lead, and that equals their largest lead that was way back in the first quarter, Mike. It's been Northwest hanging in there. I'll tell you what, Sam Powell's got his team shrugging off that 33-point loss at Dowling. They're in this ball game, and they're knocking on the door to be in the finals tomorrow against Johnston.
They are. This game so far has been a game of runs. Dowling will put together a streak of 2 or 3 possessions or 4 possessions will score. Then Waukee Northwest will do it. Then Dowling will do it. Then Waukee Northwest did it in the at the end of the second quarter. Now Dowling's come out in the first 4 possessions of this third quarter and has hit 4 out of 6 shots, scored on the first 4 possessions, 9 points, and have turned a 4-point deficit into a 3-point lead.
Take a look at the scoring for Dowling. As you mentioned, Mike, Dowling did not go to the free throw line in the first half. The Maroons were led at halftime by Layla Tritton and Ava Zedeker with 7 points each. That has since changed. Ellie Muller had 6 points at halftime, and Katie Muller had 3 points at halftime. Ellie Olson had not scored, and neither did Macy Harndon in the first half. But right now, Ellie Muller with 6 points in the third quarter. She now has 12 points, and Layla Tritton now has 10 for the Maroons. So kind of a scoring update as we're underway out of the Waukee Northwest timeout. And head coach Sam Powell in his second year as the Wolves head coach, leading this young group of Wolves to the state tournament with no seniors and 3 juniors, 8 sophomores and 2 freshmen. And he started 4 sophomores and a junior in his lineup and comes off the bench with a sophomore and a freshman. Wolves with it. Here's Jenya Leverage, and she traveled with the basketball. They're running that little weave action, if you will, and Jenya Leverage got to the middle of the lane and then wanted to pivot and travel.
Yeah, she did. The next couple minutes are going to be critical for both teams, but more for Waukee Northwest, I think, because Dowling seems to have gotten their feet under them a little bit here to start the third quarter, and you can't let them get a lead on you. It's going to be tough to come back.
The Wolves have led by as many as 7 over Dowling back in the first half, and Dowling's lead has been 3 as of right now and in the first half. Here's Zedeker with it, 15 on the shot clock. Dowling moving the ball around. Now Zedeker in the lane, pull-up jumper good right over Croat, and Ava Zedeker starting to light it up. She now has 9 points. And our score is 34-29. Dowling's largest lead is right now at 5. 3 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in the third quarter as we are courtside right across from the Waukee Northwest bench. here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. Mark Hamadale alongside Mike Burker. Corner three up and good by Danberg. Cassie Danberg, 6'1", sophomore. Now in double figures with 10 points. That's her second three of the day.
And that ended an 8-0 run by Dowling here in the third quarter.
34-32 Dowling. Maroons in the front court. Here's Tritton with it. Leaves it for Olsen. Only a couple dribbles now at the Zedeker with 15 on the shot clock. Zedeker guarded by Vogt. Back to Tritton, now to Ellie Olsen. Swings it over to the left side to Zedeker. Pull-up jumper to left wing, no good. Offensive rebound, slapped around, and who's got it? Moeller had it, and the ball still loose. Croat had it. She lost it, and we got 1st and 10 at midcourt, and a foul on Zedeker.
Could have been a couple fouls on that one, but
what a flurry.
It was like the last one got it.
Yeah, that'll be Zedeker with her first foul. Was I right to say 1st and 10? Can I do that? Can I bring a football analogy in since we had the football coach on at halftime?
That was a wild scramble there.
And I got to go back to the bench. Craig Snyder, the bench official, saying, hey, I don't think they got the right number or what. That should be on Zedeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, they had it on the wrong number. Okay. They initially gave it to Ellie Moeller, and they gave it back to Zedeker. So they made the correction. Danberg with it as Waukee Northwest inbounds the ball. Danberg in the lane, fadeaway jumper, up and good, right over Ellie Moeller. And Cassie Danberg now with 12 points.
Yeah, she's having a nice game. She's not intimidated at all, and she's taking it right at her.
You can see the growth of this group with Sam Powell. We saw that. Maybe not up close. The final on senior night, Dowling calls a timeout as Chad Schellmeyer gives the Maroons a timeout. And we'll see if this turns into a 30 or a minute.
Maybe a full timeout, I think.
We'll take it with them. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in the third quarter from Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. We're tied. Dowling 34, Waukee Northwest 34. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Pope John Paul II once said, humanity, its dignity and its balance, at every moment and on every place on earth will depend upon who he is for her and who she is for him. I am Father Thomas Loya with a Theology of the Body moment for the Tabor Life Institute. Why are we a man? Why are we a woman? Unless we know the why, we do not know the how to be man or a woman, and therefore we do not know how to really be for each other. The why behind being a man or woman is told in the theology of our gendered bodies. Our bodies speak a language. Gender reveals God. Through gender, we can actually participate in the way that God loves us. We can love as God loves. Human sexuality is an icon of the very interior life of the Holy Trinity. To find out more about the theology of the body, visit taborlife.org. taborlife.org.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena. Dowling inbounds the ball. They get it underneath to Ellie Moeller. Her shot is no good. Rebound Ellie Olsen. And we got a whistle and a jump ball called as Ole came down with it with a Northwest gal. Tied at 34. All in the possession now will favor Waukee Northwest. 2 minutes, 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Mark Amadale, Mike Burkert. If you joined us late, it was in game one, the Johnson Dragons going back to the state championship game tomorrow night as they defeated Ankeny Centennial 61-42 in game one this morning here at Wells Fargo Arena in the first 5A semifinal. So Johnston and their 51-game winning streak will play the winner of this game, and Coach Jellick was just down about three spaces from us here on press row at halftime. And now here's a shot in the lane, no good, blocked by Olsen, but back into the hands of Vogt. And now Johnson, or rather Waukee Northwest, keeps the ball alive. And we got a whistle and a backcourt foul as Tritton with the rebound. And a foul on Vogt, and that'll be Logan Vogt's first foul. So quite a flurry there as we're tied at 34, a minute 30 left to go here in the third quarter, Mike Burkert.
Yeah, I'll be Mr. Obvious here, but the last minute 31 seconds are going to be critical with the tie game so you can get the upper hand going into the fourth quarter here. You're probably talking maybe 3 possessions, maybe 4, but most likely 3.
Well, Dowling, the home team on the scoreboard, wearing their home white uniforms, maroon numbers. and letters. And Waukee Northwest,
two.
and they're black. Northwest, a long three. Dowling a long three, no good. Rebound Northwest. And Danburg comes away with it, but stolen away by Ellie Moeller. Now they give it back to Zedeker. Final minute of the third quarter, and we're still tied at 34.
Waukee had switched up and gone to a 2-3 zone right now, which...
Now Zedeker, corner three from the zone, no good. And I look at Sam Powell, he says, kind of like what Bob and Sharon used to do when Sharon ran the Barracuda and then they get a layup and Bob said we're getting out of it. Yeah. Sam Powell had that same look. Yeah. And Dowling with the lead, 37-34. Zedeker with her first three of the afternoon. She's got 12 points. Wolves running their offense. Out top with the basketball is Logan Vogt. Dribble handoff. Now Vogt takes underneath. Her shot blocked by Ellie Olsen. Rebound Maroons. 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. Shot clock turned off. Dowling by 3. Maroons' largest lead has been 5 points here in the third quarter. Northwest's largest lead has been 7 back in the first half. Very tight game here in this 5A semi. Here's Zedeker in the lane. Spins. Can't get off the shot. Leaves it for Ellie Moeller, her three-pointer from the top of the key, no good. And Al Croat, a half-court shot is no good. And we've come to the end of 3 quarters of play here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. And it's Dowling 37, Waukee Northwest 34. Alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadale. Stay tuned, the fourth quarter is coming up. The winner advances to the state championship game in Class 5A tomorrow night here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com. Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
All right, welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. Our thanks to our studio crew back at Iowa Catholic Radio. Tag team match of Aiden Pugh and Matt Wilkham. Appreciate them hanging out this afternoon as we have mid-afternoon basketball, the girls' state basketball tournament. The winner of this game will play tomorrow night. 6 o'clock tip-off, the 5A championship game. That'll involve the defending champs, Johnson Dragons, who won earlier today. Dowling with the ball to start the fourth quarter. Maroons lead by 3. Katie Muller for 3 in the corner. Good! Nice pass that time by Zedeker, and Katie hits the corner 3. That is her 6th point of the day, and Dowling has its largest lead of 6 points right now, Mike, in this contest.
Yeah, this is a critical possession for Waukee Northwest. I keep saying that, but there were only 9 possessions for each team in that third quarter, which is you got to make sure you make everything count.
And here's Billick underneath, and Vanna with the basket. That's her first basket of the second half, and that is Waukee's second leading scorer, Vanna Billick, with 4 points. Dowling with the ball. Zedeker in the lane, pull-up jumper, no good. Ball slapped around, and Ellie Muller had it taken away from her by Croat, and we've got double dribble in the backcourt. Good job by Zedeker as she's trying to defend Croat, and she double dribbled.
Yeah, a nice move in the offense, but the defense been a nice play. Got the contested rebound, and they tried to break it out of there quickly and couldn't quite get it.
All right, Dowling will inbound the ball as Bruins going with 4 of their starters. Macy Harnden, a three-pointer from the right side. Might have been partially blocked by Croat and rebounded by the Wolves. Waukee Northwest shooting 41% from the field. Dowling shooting just under 44%. The Bruins are 6 out of 18 from three-point range. And we've got carrying the basketball on the Wolves on Billick. It'll be a turnover. It'll be Dowling basketball. The Maroons Waukee is 2 of 10 from three-point range. Dowling has a lead in the boards, 23-18 over the Wolves. Turnovers, Waukee Northwest with 5, Dowling with 4. as we start the fourth quarter here. A minute into it, minute and 15 seconds into it.
Yeah, and 2 critical turnovers by Waukee Northwest.
Double dribble and a carry.
Yeah, you can't give away possessions at this point in the game.
Here's Zediker with it. Looking to do a little two-person game, and now she hands it off to Macy Harnden, guarded by Billick. Harnden gets it over to Tritton on the right side. Back to Harnden. They lob it inside to Muller. Ellie with it, a power dribble. Shot in the lane, good, right over Danberg. Ellie Muller, and she now has 14 points this afternoon. And it's 42-36. Dowling's lead back to 6, their largest of the day. Maroons trying to make it back to the state championship game for the second consecutive year. And head coach Sam Powell wants a timeout, and he'll take it. It'll be a full timeout. 6:04 to go, fourth quarter. Dowling girls leading 42-36 over Waukee Northwest. We'll be back after this 1-minute break along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from the Catholic Tuition Organization. Reduce or eliminate your Iowa income tax and instead give to the Catholic Tuition Organization and receive 75% Iowa tax credits. These tax credits are going fast, so reserve yours today and learn more about the Catholic Tuition Organization at ctoiowa.org. ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Catholic Tuition Organization, a great investment in our kids.
Lumen Media of the Diocese of Sioux City Office of Communications offers diocesan news in one place at lumenmedia.org. Follow the latest edition of Lumen Notes by email or text to read Bishop Nicholas's column on Lent, an article on all things Lent, a Danbury teacher's book on prayer, how to nominate teachers for awards, and the June quest trip for young men in the diocese. Read these stories and see our multimedia content in the next Lumen Notes e-newsletter.
Hey, welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Alongside Mike Burkert, Mark Amadale, as we have just under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 42-36 Dowling, and now out of the timeout, a three-pointer from the top of the key, good by Romy Croat. She now has 15 points. And cuts the Maroons' lead to 3, 42-39. Good timeout that time by Sam Powell. Now Dowling with the ball. A long three, no good by Zediker, but she gets her own rebound. And we've got carrying the basketball on Zediker as she turned the ball over, or cupped the ball after getting the rebound.
Yeah, at that time, Waukee Northwest just got to make sure that they block out on any missed shot that Dowling has, so they limit them to one shot each possession.
5:30 remaining. Fourth quarter, Dowling by 3. Waukee Northwest with the basketball. And here's Billick for 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Put back up and good by Croat. Romy Croat with 17 points leads the Wolves. And it's a 1-point Dowling lead, 42-41. So, is that a 5-0 run by the Wolves?
Yep.
Out of the timeout. And back comes Dowling. Ellie Muller from the top of the key. Good for 3. Ellie with 17 points. That's her first 3 of the day. Again, Dowling has not been to the free throw line in this contest, and the Wolves have not been at the free throw line here in the second half either. They were 6 or 7 at halftime, and now underneath, a pump fake and a shot no good by Billick, drew the foul, and Ellie Muller with the foul. It'll be her second.
Now we're going to see some free throws, maybe.
It's a shooting foul. It's not on the floor.
Well, so far, Northwest, they were 6 out of 7, so this is a good opportunity down 4. They can cut the lead in half.
Chad Schomeyer, Zach Clark, Mike Anderson, our 3 officials. First free throw, no good by Billick. Billick this afternoon, 4 points. Wolves now 6 of 8 at the free throw line as we have 4 minutes, 47 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling by 4. Second free throw coming by Billick is good. And she has 5 points. 45-42, Dowling by 3. Dowling has 3 timeouts remaining, 2 by Waukee Northwest. Here's Katie Muller, dribbles to the baseline, left side, kicks it back out to her sister Ellie underneath the Olsen layup, good! What a pass by Ellie Muller to the other Ellie, Oli. And she shoots and scores her first points of the tournament.
That was a huge possession by Dowling to get that 5-point lead now.
Now they're going to get Zediker with the foul, holding on for dear life as Croat takes it down. I'll tell you, I like this Northwest team. Romy Croat, sophomore, Vanna Billick, junior, all back next year. Cassie Danberg has improved. You know, the post players are usually later to the party to improve. She's done a nice job. 6'1" sophomore is Danberg, and she has the ball now. As we approach the 4-minute mark, Dowling 47, Waukee Northwest 42, and then traveling as Croat, or rather Danberg, was eyeing the three in the left wing, and she shuffled her feet very deliberately, and that's going to be a mental error right there, Mike. Turnover against Waukee Northwest.
She was going to shoot it, then she decided not to shoot it and took a step up, and she was in trouble.
Maroons get the ball in the front court as Waukee Northwest now on defense is pushing or playing man-to-man full court. There's Zediker in the lane. She's guarded by Jania Leverage, another sophomore. Now Zediker for three, fall-away jumper no good. Offensive rebound Olsen, back to Zediker, and she traveled with the basketball. So turnover against the Maroons. And it'll be Waukee Northwest basketball, and we're in the final 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Maroons hanging on to a 5-point lead in this 5A semifinal.
Yeah, and if you look at the fouls here in the fourth quarter, if it gets down to 2 that, Waukee Northwest has 0 fouls, Dowling has 2.
All right, Wolves with it. Here is Billick with it. Coming off a ball screen, right side, leaves it for Danberg. They run their dribble weave over to Croat. Now back to Vogt with it for the Wolves. They dribble the right side, kick it back out to Croat. 7 on the shot clock. Croat's going to take it, coming off a ball screen. Three-pointer up, short. Rebound Dowling and Katie Muller. And the Wolves do not pressure in the backcourt, which I find surprising here with 3 minutes to play. Maroons will get it across the timeline. Zediker with it over to Tritton. The Maroons are in no hurry. They're going to let the shot clock milk down to 20 right now. And now here is Ellie Muller for 3, off the mark, no good. Ellie Olsen, offensive rebound, back to Tritton, layup good. Has Ellie Olsen been the player in the right spot at the right time all day today?
She's got some crucial offensive rebounds and able to be in the right spot when people drive for the layup.
And Tritton with 12 points. 49-42, Dowling by 7. This is their largest lead of the day. And now the ball tipped out of bounds. And Coach Jellick of Johnson, you can move down here, Mike, if you need to. Coach Jellick of Johnson on press row. Saves it from going in the second part of press row. And the Wolves will have the basketball. 10 on the shot clock. With it is Billick. Skip pass over to Danberg. Fakes the 3, now dribbles. Kicks it back out. 3 on the shot clock. With the ball in the lane is Vogt, and her shot is blocked by Katie Muller. We got a shot clock violation on the Wolves. It'll be Dowling basketball with 2:06 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
That was a critical possession defensively for Dowling, because not only did they not let Waukee Northwest score, they ran 30 seconds off the clock. Or 35 seconds, excuse me.
49-42, Dowling now full court pressure by the Wolves. They get it to Katie Muller, to Tritton, now to Zediker. And they get it across the timeline with 2 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I was watching that too.
You could always look at the shot clock to help with a 10-second count. And the officials know that. They use it. Dowling fans across the way cheering their team. Student section is absolutely full. Now Maroons, here's Katie Muller in the corner for 3, left it short. Rebound, Waukee Northwest. Wolves with it in the front court. Billick all the way down, kicks it over in the corner to Sadie McCann. Back to Croat for 3, good! Romy Croat with her 20th point, and that would be her second 3 of the afternoon. And it's 49-45, Dowling by 4, timeout. Waukee Northwest with 1:30 remaining, and we'll keep it here with this timeout. We recognize some of our sponsors. We appreciate them all season long. They include Ashworth Vision Clinic, Blessman International, Bozen the Florist, and Construction Professionals. And again, a shout out to Joe Stacy and Bill Hankinius. They called the game Tuesday night, the Dowling boys in the sub-state final over in Cedar Rapids at Linn-Mar High School in one of the suburbs of Cedar Rapids. Appreciate Joe and Bill driving over there on a very wet night and calling the game as Jimmy Cataldo and I had work responsibilities. Yes, full-time work responsibilities. We do get around to that once in a while. So we appreciate Joe, and I know he's listening up there on the 23rd floor of the Ruan Center with all he does for his full-time job. And Joe, if you're listening, say hello to Jimmy Olson, who used to work for Iowa Catholic Radio, and we still get invited to some of his functions. I do know that that toss thing that he ran earlier, I think there was a recount going on with his bags tournament that Jimmy was sponsoring with his company. But no, appreciate all Joe does, and sharing space there with Jimmy Olson. And here, Mike, minute and a half to go, full timeout called. This is going to come down to who has the ball last, maybe, but Dowling up 4.
Yeah, there's something going on. Both the referees have been talking together. Both coaches have been talked to. But it comes down to now Northwest needs to put pressure on. Dowling needs to take care of the basketball. Waukee has 0 fouls in the fourth quarter, so they have 4 fouls they've got to get before they can even get Dowling to shoot free throws.
And as I said earlier, after each quarter, Dowling has yet to shoot a free throw today.
Yep.
Whether it be this morning when we started at 11:45 or this afternoon, Maroons have not attempted the free throw. We're going to get a lot of fouls called. And now Zedeker loses the basketball, but Tritton picks it up. Maroons break the press. Here's Ellie Olson in the front court. And somebody's going to get fouled here because the Wolves have fouls to give. And that is the first one right there. Logan Vogt with her second foul.
They almost forced a turnover in the back court. It was kind of a little free-for-all there for about 2 or 3 seconds, but Dowling came up with the basketball, was able to break the press.
So that is team foul number 1 on Northwest, according to the board here in the fourth quarter. So they have 3 more to do. They're going to do it right away. And that being Croat with her third. It'll be the foul fest. Now Sam Powell yelling at his players saying, hey, anybody but her to commit the foul. Just switch your players. Tritton will throw it in. Gets to Zedeker, and here we go. And that foul will be on Daniel Leverage. That'll be her first. I think that's what he wanted earlier. He didn't want to have Croat with her third foul.
That's 3 team fouls, so they got 1 more they have to give before Dowling was going to shoot free throws here.
1 minute, 9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Dowling girls leading 49-45 over Waukee Northwest. Mark Hemadill, Mike Burkert here at Wells Fargo Arena. Yeah, we're sitting on the ice. Oh. And now a bad pass thrown away by Waukee Northwest. Tipped away by Daniel Leverage. Into the hands of Billick. Back to Danberg, top of the key, and now to Croat. She fakes the 3. Gets it over to Daniel Leverage. Underneath the Croat, can't get the shot. Kicks it back out to Danberg. Down the lane she goes. Her shot through traffic, no good. Tip, no good. Rebound, Danberg, and a ball slapped around and a whistle, and we got a foul call. No, jump ball called, excuse me. Jump ball called. And possessioner will be Waukee Northwest. Mike with 45 seconds to play. What a flurry we just saw. It happened right in front of us.
I know it. It was, that's tough to explain to everybody, but there was a lot of action going on there. And it
started with the steal.
Started with the steal.
Yep. Daniel Leverage tipped the ball away and went into the hands of Billick. And they started running their offense, got it inside, and boy, lots of opportunities for rebounds. And the ball ended up being a jump ball. Now they inbound the ball to Vogt. Now to Croat with it between the circles. Romy with it, left side. Step back 3, up, and no good. Off the mark, rebound Dowling and Katie Moeller. And a foul in the backcourt on Logan Vogt, her third. That'll be the 14th foul on the Wolves. So Dowling will inbound the ball in the backcourt. They cannot move. They can't run the baseline. And guess what we're going to have? Full court pressure by the Wolves.
Yeah, 34 seconds left. Dowling has 3 timeouts. Northwest has 1 left.
And Dowling leading by 4 with 34 seconds remaining. Now they throw the ball into Ellie Moeller. Now to Zedeker. They foul. She goes to the line. They do.
Yeah, it was a near steal on the inbounds. I don't think Coach Marr was real happy about that. She was kind of looking like,
Credit Ellie Moeller with those hands of grabbing it.
Her arm was just a little bit longer than the person that was guarding her.
I think they called it on Logan Vogt. That's her third foul. The free throw's coming for Zedeker. Ava today, 12 points. First free throw good. Zedeker with 13 points. And it's 50-45. Dowling with the lead. 30 seconds remaining, so the shot clock will be turned off. Zediker has one more free throw. Eyes the bucket, couple of dribbles, and the free throw rolls through. 14 points for Ava Zediker. Ellie Muller with 17 points. Layla Tritton with 12 for the Maroons. And Katie Muller with 6 points. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. 26 seconds remaining. Dowling girls lead by 6, 51-45 over Waukee Northwest. Alongside Mike Burkert, Mark Amadale is Mike. I'll tell you what a game we saw. What a game. I'm impressed with Waukee Northwest. I'm always afraid of playing a team 3 times in basketball. Football, they talk about it. You play in the regular season, then you see them in the playoffs. But basketball, to play a team 3 times. It didn't happen in the Yankee Centennial Johnson game, as Johnson got out on top and ended up winning that earlier today, 61-42, with the Johnson Dragons back to the state championship. But this one, I knew Sam Powell's team has been improving, and we have seen it right in front of us.
Yeah, I like that timeout by Sam. At first, I kind of blinked my eyes, but that's what I would do. They call timeout. They need to score. And if they score, he's out of timeouts now, but he doesn't want to call timeout and give Dowling a chance to set up their press break.
All right, Wolves with it. As they inbound the ball, they get to Danberg. Dribble handoff goes to Croat. She's their leading scorer and leading three-point shooter on the year. And now three-pointer in the left wing, no good. Muller with the rebound. And Ellie now gets it to Zediker, and they'll foul in the backcourt with 9 seconds to play, and that'll do it. Dowling girls are going to go back to the state championship game tomorrow night. And they'll take on the defending champion, Johnson Dragons, who have won 51 in a row, and it's a rematch of a year ago here at Wells Fargo Arena. Tomorrow night we'll be on the air at 5:45 with the tip-off at 6 o'clock. And we'll have a lot of downtime because it'll be on TV, and there's always those extended breaks. Even when you come back from your break, you might be back for another minute, Mike. So if you got people you want to shout out to, feel free, because we're going to have time.
There you go.
And we're going to start a lot with our supporters and sponsors as Coach Powell now substituting some of his bench. As Zediker will go to the line all by herself, except for the 4 Waukee Northwest girls on the blocks. And
he needs one more player.
Yeah, I don't think anybody fouled out.
Yeah, Croat did.
Oh, she did. All right, that was her 5th foul.
That was her 5th, but he cleared the bench here, but only 4 people came in.
So Croat fouls out with 20 points with 9.5 seconds remaining. She's going to be one to watch. (51-45) Dowling, 9 seconds remaining. Ava Zediker for the Maroons at the free throw line. And the second free throw good. So she goes 1 for 2. Not a whole lot by Dowling at the free throw line today. Zediker with 15 points. And now underneath, an uncontested layup good at the horn. And they will count it by Chloe Moen. And the final score, Dowling 52, Waukee Northwest 47. The Maroons overcame a deficit at halftime as Dowling trailed 27-23 at halftime and outscored Northwest here in the second half. We're going to take a 2-minute break along our Iowa Catholic Radio Network stations. They'll have activities and going on the floor. The presentation of an award to Waukee Northwest for getting to the semifinals, along with Dowling punching their ticket to the state championship game tomorrow night. And we'll have it here on Iowa Catholic Radio. 6 o'clock tip-off will be on the air at 5:45 tomorrow. But stay tuned. We got the post-game show as we hope to be joined by assistant coach, one of the Dowling assistant coaches, and maybe a player or two as we'll talk to them here momentarily. Alongside Mike Burkert, Mark Hamadil. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back. Final score, Dowling 52, Waukee Northwest 47. The Dowling girls will play Johnson tomorrow night for the 5A state championship game. We'll return in 2 minutes. All on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
KWKY Des Moines, KIHS Adel, KDVM Mason City, KCSL Spencer.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Yeah, fishy, 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 fishy.
There's an easier way to find the fish.
That's not loud enough. You're calling very quiet. Oh.
Just go to iowacatholicradio.com and click on the fish fry finder.
Yeah, fishy, 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 fishy.
Select your region and find the fish fry in your neck of the woods.
Still too quiet. Too quiet. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go now.
Just use the fish fry finder at iowacatholicradio.com.
Well, that's not loud enough, Bert.
Then you won't have to say
fishy, 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 fishy
anymore.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever noticed that sometimes it's hard to get along with your family? That sometimes the people in your family are downright uncongenial? Well, G.K. Chesterton says that is precisely why the family is so important, because it is often uncongenial. Every family is filled with the same problematical people that you find everywhere else. And so, anyone revolting against the family is simply revolting against mankind. As Chesterton says, Aunt Elizabeth is unreasonable, like mankind. Papa is excitable, like mankind. Our youngest brother is mischievous, like mankind. And so, if we can get along with our family, we can get along with anyone. Want more than a minute? Visit our website, chesterton.org.
And welcome back to the post-game show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network as we preempt regular programming today to bring you coverage of the girls' state basketball tournament here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Call to Communion. We will join that program in progress once our post-game show is done. Alongside Mike Burkert, I'm Mark Amadale, and the Dowling girls advancing to the state championship game tomorrow night as the Maroons defeating Waukee Northwest in a thriller, 52-47 here at Wells Fargo Arena. And earlier today it was Johnston defeating Ankeny Centennial 61-42. So both Johnston and Dowling defeating their opponents for the third time this year because, yes, it was a CIML Conference all semifinal matchup in Class 5A. And we saw all this during the regular season, Mike. I didn't think it continued in the postseason, but congratulations to the conference, man.
That's true.
It's awesome.
And it followed form. I mean, when you got down to, you had 1-4, 2-3, and the 2-3 game was a tight game all the way through. I don't think that, without looking back and knowing specifically, the biggest lead was maybe 6-7 points at one time, but then that team that was behind always came back. And it just came down to the end. Dowling was able to execute in the fourth quarter, in the last 5-6 minutes, a little bit better than Waukee Northwest was, and was able to come out with a 52-47 win.
Well, it wasn't easy for Dowling. The Maroons had to play catch-up, but Mike, you talk about the first few minutes of after coming out of halftime, and the Maroons did. They came out and outscored Northwest 14-7 in the third quarter after trailing at halftime 27-23. They came out, and it was kind of nip and tuck, back and forth, and all of a sudden the Maroons come away in that third quarter and got the lead. Northwest made their runs. The Maroons outscored Northwest 15-13 in that fourth quarter, so it was 29-20 Dowling in the second half, but they gradually got the game even and then took the lead after Northwest had the lead much of that second quarter.
Yeah, I think it came down to, it was a very well-played game. If you look at the stats given to us, each team had 7 turnovers. And for a game being played awesome at this level, down into, the Final Four of a state tournament, just to have 7, and the quality of defense that was being played. It was very physical, and you get a better appreciation of that sitting where we're sitting, where, there's a lot of physical activity. The referees, to their credit, unless it was an advantage one way or the other, didn't call it, and that made it a good basketball game to watch. It came down to rebounding. Dowling out-rebounded them 29-24. the difference was Dowling was able to hit 3 more three-point shots. They were 7 of 23 versus 4 of 16 for Waukee Northwest. You know, it's a 5-point game. You know, Waukee shot a few more free throws. I think you had him at 7 for 9, and Dowling was 3 for 4. So, you know, so Waukee was able to do some things going to the basket where Dowling wasn't able to. They weren't getting fouled shooting. There was the fouls, but even at the end, the fourth quarter, Waukee Northwest had 0 fouls with like about 2 minutes to go in the game and had to foul, you know, 5 times before they get to the free throws.
The game featured 3 ties and lead changes, changed 6 times in this contest, and that's a pretty good stretch when it goes back and forth again. Northwest led Dowling 13-12 at the end of the first quarter, and then the Wolves outscore Dowling 14-11 in the second quarter. And it was halftime. It was Waukee Northwest leading 27-23. And as I mentioned, Dowling outscoring Waukee Northwest 14-7 in that third quarter. That's where the Maroons built the lead, tied it, and then took the lead. And the Maroons led 37-34 going into the fourth quarter and outscored the Wolves 15-13 in the fourth quarter to win it 52-47 to have a rematch with the Johnson Dragons. And they'll play for the third time this year. Johnson winning both meetings. I think the first one, Dragons won by 8 or 9, and the second one, Johnson beat Dowling by 2 points. So this should be a dandy.
Yeah, I think it was 49-41 the first time, and the second time was 64-62. So Dowling come prepared. But I think one thing I want to point out, I think when you look at the statistics, one of the things that you know, if you looked at it wouldn't jump out at you, except it jumps out to me, is Ellie Olson. She scored 2 points. She had 5 offensive rebounds, 7 total. And if you look down at the bottom, second chance points, Dowling had 15 versus 9 for Waukee. Her offensive rebounds led a number of times to Dowling baskets, and probably at least 3 of those led to baskets. So just take those 6 points, 5-point game. Those were crucial.
Mike, that is a tremendous point because you don't really keep stats of stuff like that. Ellie Olson is not the leading scorer, not even the top of the leading scorers in the Dowling program, but she does the intangibles. She does the little things. Second chance points, you just mentioned them, keeping them offensive rebounds, things like that, deflections, steals. She's in the top of those categories, and I wouldn't be surprised because you go back and the coaches are notified, both the winning and losing coaches are notified. They got to come back to the media room, which we don't have access to because we're out here on the court, but they also get to bring 3 players. I think today Ellie Olson will probably be with them, unlike she was sitting with us on Monday because of that. If it goes what I think they should ask, I'd get Ellie in there.
Yeah, again, that was, if you go down farther, she had 2 assists, 2 block shots. I mean, she's one of the smaller, she's not 6'1", you know, without
5'10".
5'10", but
yep.
She's not like a big 5'10". And she just is a smart basketball player who gets herself in the right positions and is, when you talk about a really good complementary team player that you need on a team, she's that person.
Plays in a softball team, third base, left field, designated hitter, does it all, and is one of the leaders on this team, as you mentioned, in assists, just averaging under 3 assists a game, and did the intangibles of keeping that's the offensive system going. And the Maroons started out slow, and that's a credit to Sam Powell and what the Waukee Northwest Wolves threw at them today, and they withstood another challenge. Again, tough to beat a team 3 times, but it was a one-sided game. Dowling won by 33 points back at the end of February on senior night, 83-50, and the Maroons come back and win their 3rd game against Northwest, but it was a close one, 52-47. So you got to hand it to Sam Powell. He knows what's coming, and we're awaiting our post-game guest. I think it's probably a little bit more extended in the locker room. So I think what we'll do, Mike, unless you want anything else you want to interject, we're going to take a break and come back and see where we're at with getting a coach or player over here, as things happen behind the walls, as you know, in the locker rooms. And I would think the Maroons would have either Coach Danner or maybe even one of the coaches and players coming out here. But I'll let you have any final comments before we take our last break.
No, we can take our break. It could be because there's so many different locker rooms they use back there. It could be the one that's the farthest away, too, if I remember.
That's true. I know Centennial was located right out our media room, but that's not even halfway in the bowels of Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines.
No, but I think it sets up a really interesting game on
tomorrow night.
Friday. Because all season long, these two teams, Dowling and Johnston, have been the two best teams, I think, in their class. And they've demonstrated that with the opponents that they've all played, because both of them have gone outside of the conference to play teams. I mean, I think Johnson played Prairie and they played Central DeWitt. They were ranked teams in different classes. Dowling, went to Minnesota, played a couple teams, went to they also played Sioux City Heelan, who was number 1 in the 4A. And you've got an interesting contrast. I mean, both have solid post players that'll shoot from outside. I mean, we watched Jenkins in the first game. Surprised me a little bit where she was stepping out shooting threes from 2 or 3 steps behind. I know I was sitting with Bob and Sharon. Bob was like, does she really shoot from that far out normally? And I said, she is.
She didn't start that way.
No.
Like when she started her career at Des Moines North and transferred to Johnston her sophomore, junior, and senior year, she didn't do that. But now she's added that to her game, and thus that's why she's headed out east at Virginia Tech to play at the next level. But yeah, Amani Jenkins can do much like Ellie Muller. That'll be a tremendous matchup to watch those two battle tomorrow night, as we will be a big part of that. But, that's one factor.
Yeah, it's going to come down to, I mean, you've got 2 post players, one for each team that can both play inside and outside. They're both about the same height. And then you've got 2 point guards, Jenica Lewis and Ava Zediker, who are both probably first-team All-Staters, and it's going to be up to the complementary. I don't mean that derogatory. The others besides those two to come through, and that 3, 4, 5, 6 people are going to need to step up and really play well tomorrow night.
And one of those complementary players that you mentioned earlier was Ellie Olson for Dowling. Yeah, finished with 2 points, a couple fouls, but you mentioned the assists, the offensive rebounds, the little things that kept possessions alive after not scoring. That is what Ellie did, and she is one of those complimentary players and does it so well for the Maroons. We're going to take a break here as we are in our post-game show following today's game. Dowling Catholic girls punching their ticket to the state championship game tomorrow night. Dowling a winner over Waukee Northwest 52-47 alongside Mike Burkert. This is Mark Amadale, and I'll tell you what, let's take a 2-minute break. I'm not sure if it's Aiden or Matt back at the studios of Iowa Catholic Radio. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back for final comments and maybe an interview. But right now, coaches and players are not here, but that's not saying they won't be here. Take a 2-minute break and come back along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Dowling over Waukee Northwest 52-47. It's Dowling and Johnson tomorrow night. 6 o'clock tip-off. Will be on the air at 5:45. Back in 2 minutes on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Mercy One is proud to support Iowa Catholic Radio. Mercy One helps you live your best life. Find personalized care for you and your loved ones at mercyone.org.
Encounter the Eucharist, an evening with Father Mike Schmitz, Wednesday, April 2nd at the Iowa Event Center in downtown Des Moines. This limited seating event allows for an intimate conversation about faith that will inspire a deeper relationship with Jesus.
When you see the Lord lifted up like this, you are looking at Calvary. You're participating in His restoration of the world.
Encounter the Eucharist, an evening with Father Mike Schmitz. Go to iowacatholicradio.com and reserve your seat now. Presented by BSB Design.
You know, you can make a false god out of your own happiness. I love talking about how to align your thinking with the Word of God, how that leads to a positive attitude, a healthier emotional life, and helps you make a bigger impact on the world. And that's all good motivation for making positive changes in your life. But there's a fine line here, friends. If you engage the spiritual life too obsessed about your own happiness, you're going to end up less happy. I wrote a book called I Am. It's about replacing negative self-talk with the life-giving words that God has to say about you. But guess where it ends? On a call to worship and service. The book lands on getting you out of your head. Because in the end, we need to own our thinking, avoid negative ruts, and believe in our dignity, not because we're called to build lives that are all about our own happiness. It's because we're called to love. And that's the Catholic difference. That's the path to true happiness. For more from my book, I Am, visit rewriteyourname.com. I'm Chris Stefanik from Real Life Catholic.
All right, welcome back to the post-game show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network following the 5A State Girls Basketball semifinal game. Dowling Catholic a winner over Waukee Northwest 52-47. Maroons move into the championship game with a record of 22-3, while Waukee Northwest record closes out at 19-5 as the Wolves had their 4-game winning streak snapped. And we'll go through the scoring. I think our guests are making their way over. Is that right, Mike?
I think so.
All right, we'll just clear out a couple chairs for them and put them right here. Let's run down the scoring first for Dowling Catholic. The Maroons were led by Ellie Mullers, 17 points. Ava Zediker with 15 points. Layla Tritton, 12 points on the day. 6 points for Katie Muller and 2 points for Ellie Olson. Macy Harnden played and did not score. For Waukee Northwest, one player in double figure led by Romy Croats, 16 points. And 9 points each for Vanna Billick and for Cassidy Danberg. Leah Janowitz with 2 points and Logan Vogt with 5 points. And off the bench, Sadie McCann with 4 points and 2 points for Chloe Moen. As the rebounding edge was to Dowling, 29-24. And as Mike mentioned, turnovers, both teams with 7 turnovers following the contest. And now we've got our players.
All these wires here.
We got wires. Yeah, there's wires.
Tom Wilson got hung up in these earlier.
That's good.
You got to scoot up a little bit there.
Yeah. And we'll get everybody set here as we're taking over press row. Got Coach Danner and Macy Harnden visiting with us here on the post-game show. Courtside here at Iowa Catholic Radio. And Macy Harnden, Coach Danner, welcome. Can you hear us?
Thank you, yes.
All right, and we'll turn Macy up a little bit. Well, first of all, congratulations. It's never easy to play a team twice, is it, Coach Danner? And
no.
You played Waukee Northwest for the 3rd time, and it's a little bit different than on senior night a month ago.
A little bit different. We expected that. We knew it was going to be a battle today coming down here. You know, we shot really well that second time in February we played them, and we knew that probably wasn't going to continue to happen, and we knew they'd come out and be more aggressive attacking the basket, which they did in the first half, and they put us on they had us on our feet defensively, so not many teams have done that this year.
No, they haven't. But what a way to you go into halftime, you're down, and then that third quarter you outscored them 14-7. You got off to a great start in that third quarter, got a little bit of confidence, and got some things going.
Yeah, we knew for 4 quarters we were probably going to be able to, in transition, wear them out a little bit. I think that was a big part of that, coming out early. And our girls they've got a lot of confidence in themselves. They really do. We've got 4 girls, seniors, that have just played a lot of basketball, and they didn't really get rattled. I probably got more rattled than they did at times, just because you don't like to give up that that double stagger. Here comes that jump shot. It's going to happen, but you just don't cover. But no, they kept their composure. Halftime, they were calm. We said, here's what we need to do, and they came out and executed the third quarter.
You brought Macy Harnden out from the locker room. She's wanting to get her. I think she has to go back to school for something, right? An extra class?
She should. I don't know why there's
no. I've got my stuff taken care of.
So how many times you been down to state, Macy? This is your senior year? This is 4?
This is my 3rd time. 3 times.
So freshman year, okay.
Freshman year I was with Tom and Lisa still, so.
I'm sorry to hear that with Tom.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Purgatory with those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he still hand you pictures back in freshman year? Because Tom will find these. I see him on Dowling's social media page about me. Where does he get that stuff? Does he not delete?
I don't know where. He's got pictures back there. I'm not sure where they come from.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, Macy, talk about this game, a different Waukee Northwest team than what you saw on senior night at Dowling a month ago.
Yeah, I think we definitely knew they'd come out and play better, especially how senior night went. But I think we weren't happy with how we played first half and even second half. But we Danner said, we have a lot of seniors on this team and a lot of experience, and we just knew we'd hit our shots and just kind of get back in our defense second half and be able to find our rhythm.
When you came into the game, Macy, because you come off the bench, you came in for, instead of normally Ellie Olsen, you came in for Tritton because I think she picked up her second foul. So did that affect the matchups of when you were in there with Layla's player or versus Ellie's player?
Not too much. I mean, we know we have a lot of girls who can take on different guards, but we're pretty versatile, so we can match up with about anybody.
But everybody look and smile. Earl's taking a picture. He might be part of the game if we play it right.
Now you're famous.
Yeah, there you go. Earl Holst takes your picture, you're famous. Go ahead, Mike.
There you go. No, we noticed it was a game that is a little bit different. It wasn't an up and down game as much as it was each possession was important. And that was what my point was. I think third quarter, each team only had 9 possessions, and that's untypical of a Dowling game. You guys usually have 15, 16, 17 possessions. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what difference that made in your mind as to, you had to go deep in the shot clock. They went deep in the shot clock many times, so how that affects things?
Yeah, I think we just knew we couldn't let our defense wear down and just stay. Like, once you get deep in that shot clock, it's easy to let them take on easy shots, and I think we also had to have patience on our offense. If they wanted to run a long shot clock, then we had to move the ball around and find good shots. So it definitely was different, but I think we found it there eventually at the end.
You're listening to the post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio following Dowling's win over Waukee Northwest 52-47 in the 5A girls state semifinals. Maroons have a rematch with Johnston tomorrow night, and we'll be here at 6 o'clock. Mike Burke, go ahead.
I've got one for Coach Danner here. I gave you my stat sheet there. One of the things that I talked about before you guys came out that jumped out on me as a coach, see if it jumped out, was Ellie Olsen. She had 5 offensive rebounds, 7 total. And if you look at the second chance points at the bottom there, it was 15-9. You won by 5. And I know at least a couple of those possessions, it directly resulted in a 3-pointer or a 2-point shot. So maybe talk about that, what you saw.
And that's what I just, it's on a friend text here from back of my friends in Boone, and I said the thing that stood out to me was second chance points, and that's what you're referring to. I mean, Ellie's done that for 2 years now, 3 years. I mean, she's relentless on the offensive boards. I mean, that's probably her, main focus. Obviously, she's a great defender, but we know that once that ball goes up, she's going to go get it, but the other girls just are ready to spot up because they know that she's going to kick it out, and she did that today. I mean, I think she got the Ellie once for a 3-pointer, and we got Layla on a backdoor cut for a layup on the second one that she had there late in the game. But it's just the mentality that she has, and it's a work ethic that she displays each and every day in practice. But those are huge. In a game like this, like you say, a lot less possessions. We probably ran more sets today than we have for a while. Waukee Northwest, we knew it was going to run a bunch of sets, and each trip was important, just like in any other game. But today probably more so.
Once again, visiting with Joel Danner and Macy Harnden here on the post-game show alongside Mike Burkett, Mark Amadale. Dowling girls a winner, 52-47. Coach, anything that you want our listeners to know about the game? I thought you had some great sets coming out of a timeout. Getting the kids in the right spot and executing in a basket when you needed it in that third quarter, I thought.
Yeah, no, a lot of that goes to Coach Faber and Coach Marr. I mean, those two are the offensive brains of the operation.
That's right, your defense.
I don't even know what they're running half the time.
But you have veto power, though, right?
Well, sometimes, I don't know.
That was Bob. That's Bob Hansen.
Macy's got the veto power, not me.
I do.
But they did. We put a few wrinkles in for these 2 games.
Sure.
And they executed them, so that was nice to see.
And as Mike mentioned in our post-game chat before you got here, Northwest little zone once in a while, and they got out of it right away when Zedeker hit the corner 3 right in front of your bench.
Yeah, I mean, if you go zone on us, I kind of smile because I don't think that's going to last long. With the shooters we have, we're going to hit one eventually. So.
Well, you're one of them.
Right. I know we can knock them down, so.
Good grief, Macy, you got 21 made threes coming off the bench. Not too many people in the state have that.
No.
I know Danner does it. He's a defensive guy.
No. They didn't want me shooting the ball. I can rebound and play defense. So that was my specialties.
All right, well, as we move this along here in the postgame show, Johnston tomorrow night, Macy playing them for the third time. A year ago, played them for the state title. They're good. Everybody knows that. Your thoughts on that game and preparing for tomorrow night? It's a big 24 hours.
Yeah, I think we'll obviously go back to Dowling and prep a little bit, but I think we'll just have to rely defensively. I think our offense will be ready to come out and play. Danner, he'll have us locked in defensively, but I'm excited. I think our team's been looking forward to this one for a while. So
I bet they have been,
yes.
Yeah. Coach Danner? Is that correct? It's going to be all defense. So it's on your
all defense.
Very little offense tomorrow night, right?
It's going to be a low-scoring game. I just hope we get over that 34 points that we had last year. But no, we'll be ready to go. I mean, we'll be locked in defensively. We know, hopefully it's a game that's up and down, and we just allow a lot of people to watch a great 5A game, the two best teams in the state, and we'll battle.
I think we're going to see your best game tomorrow night. How about that? I'm calling it right now. Your best game tomorrow night.
That would be fantastic.
Coach Burkert, can you agree? You got your Notre Dame stuff on today, so I know you're going to agree.
I would agree. I think this is a matchup that everybody was looking forward to. Just even as a fan, I'll put it that way, because both teams have a lot of talent. They've got the name folks, the Zedekers and the Jenica Lewises and those, but it's going to come down, I think, to which team plays the best, and that's going to outshine, I think, the Stars.
I totally agree. That's going to come down to the Macy's and the Cadies, and they're 6 and 7
and
girls.
The
I mean, it's not going to be a one-person show. It's going to be a team game, and both teams play such great defense. But the nice thing is both teams have a lot of scorers too. So it's going to be a battle.
All right. Well, we thank you both for taking time out of the Dowling locker room to come out here on press row and visit with us, Coach Danner. Macy Harnden, senior. Looking forward to Loris next year?
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to it. I got one more thing to get done tomorrow night, and then I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I thought so. Well, thank you. Yeah. It's been great to follow your career.
Thank you.
I know I've had a couple other guys sitting in that booth. Scott Babinat a year ago. Devaney's been over there. Even Tom Donahue sat there.
I know.
Once.
I love Tom, but don't hate on him. He's great.
But she still talks about freshman and JV2 basketball. I love it. I love it. All right. Thank you both. Congratulations and best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Macy Harnden and Joel Danner joined us here on the post-game show following Dowling's win this afternoon over Waukee Northwest, and the Maroons will play tomorrow night, and we thank them both. We're going to sign off. We got to sign off here. You guys can stay as long as you want, but I got to sign off. And first of all, Mike Burkert, thank you for today. Thanks for being a part of it, and we look forward to tomorrow night. It's state championship night, and that's a different environment down here, as we all know.
It is.
And it's a fun environment, so hopefully we'll get it through. But get here early because parking is at a premium.
Okay, I'll remember that.
It was difficult last year, believe me, with all we had something going on at Hy-Vee Hall, so it made it really bad, and I just thought I can get here an hour ahead of time, be fine. Got plugged in 5 minutes before the game. So
are there games before? I didn't even look to see the schedule.
They have semifinals, so the classes that'll play their final.
There are games to watch. I mean,
so there's 3 semifinals tomorrow because those teams play Saturday for the 3 championships.
Okay.
So, all right, my friend, thank you, and Mike Burkert. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Mark.
That'll wrap up our program here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Again, we appreciate Iowa Catholic Radio interrupting program. We're going to join Call to Communion going on right now, our programming in progress. We'll join it in progress. But first, our thanks to everybody involved with our broadcast, including Athletic Director and our halftime guest, Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. Appreciate him, along with his staff, Colleen Webb and Jared Herring. Our thanks to Matt Welcome and Aiden Pugh back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios, tag teaming our broadcast from Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines, as this is our 48th year of broadcasting Dowling Catholic sports on the network. Our thanks to Deacon Mark Campbell, Matt Wilkham, Aiden Pugh, and all of our business underwriters and supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. And they include Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, Fast Signs in Clive, the Catholic Tuition Organization. Our thanks also to Construction Professionals, Bozen the Florist, Blessman International, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Our next broadcast will be, and it'll be our final broadcast of the winter sports season, tomorrow night in the Class 5A State Girls Basketball Championship in downtown Des Moines here at Wells Fargo Arena. Number 1 Johnston taking on number 2 Dowling Catholic. They had it all figured out, didn't they, when they seeded these teams? We'll be on the air at 5:45, tip-off at 6 o'clock, so join us for the radio broadcast along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. For my broadcast partner, Mike Burkert, and for everybody involved with the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, this is Mark Amadale saying good afternoon from Wells Fargo Arena. The final score for the final time, the Dowling girls, a 52-47 winner over Waukee Northwest, and they will take on the Johnston Dragons, a 61-42 winner over the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars. We'll be back tomorrow night. Hope you can join us for that along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Until then, have a safe and blessed, faith-filled afternoon.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, Blessman International, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.